Hello everyone. With prelims coming nearby, you may be having many doubts in your mind. Doubts like why there is a gap between my preparation and the scores I am getting in marks. Should I prioritize UPSC previous year questions or coaching marks? Should I cover left out syllabus or focus more on revision? Should I prioritize CSAT or general studies paper 1? Or some may be even getting doubt to leave this attempt as preparation is not up to the mark. In fact, with my experience in last few years, I'll be able to say that many people whose preparation is not up to the mark, they will clear prelims. And some people whose preparation is above average or better than those, but they will not be able to write mains. It's all about prioritization and doing things smartly in last few weeks. My name is Saurabh Kumar. I am an Indian Forest Service Officer of 2019 batch, author of Prelims Simplified book. I am here to share my answer to mentioned questions so that you maximize your chances of writing mains. So now coming question wise. First question was why there is a gap between your preparation and the scores you are getting on mark. The first and foremost reason of the same is exam temperament. That may be due to fear of failing, panic in the examination, lack of time management, or lack of knowing your way of answering the paper. I will share some of the thoughts or some of the tips to overcome these exam temperament issues. First and foremost is time management. You should not come out of the examination hall saying that had I have been having some 10-15 minutes more, I would have answered 8 questions, or I left some OMR marking, or I marked in a question paper but I could not mark in OMR. Nothing like that, because most of the people don't get an issue in the general studies 1 of time management. So what you have to do, that practicing mocks, at least 5 mocks in a time bound manner, exam oriented manner, in an unknown environment, preferably having an OMR sheet. Through these mocks, you have to fix and iterate your strategy of answering the paper in 2 hours. Whether you are going to answer them in a round or 2 round or 3 round. What is your level of answering the perfect questions in which you are getting the best score? Is it 80 questions, 85 questions, 90 or more than 90? It depends on individual. What you can do to know that, in case you are having a doubt in one question, you can write D in the question paper. And all those questions in which you have written D, you analyze it separately and see if you are getting a net score, positive score or not. If you are getting that, yes, your guesses are resulting into a net score. Also, another way to find out that could be whether you are able to eliminate 1 option, 2 option, 3 option that way. So your optimum level of elimination may be, suppose 2 options eliminated, then you mark and you are getting it correct and net score positive. So you can go with that. One more thing I would like to highlight, which comes little problematic for many of us, like OMR should be marked after each question or after a bunch of questions or after full paper. It will be strongly discouraged that you mark all the questions in OMR in last 10-15 minutes sort of. At least mark them in an hour. If you are having problem in correlation that you marked 43A in the question paper but you marked in 42, then you can mark it each after the question you solve. You decide your way, you practice them in examination, you analyze that and do that. But I would discourage to mark it at the end. Also, I would like to highlight one fact regarding exam temperament. In 2020 prelims paper set A, question number 37 to 44, all were science based questions, AI, blockchain or whatever, okay, and these questions were a bit technical. So suppose somebody has not read science and tech for the examination, or he is not able to solve 8-9 questions in a row, he may be getting frustrated. But it's always to be remembered that it is a relative examination. If all others are not answering, you are also not answering, that is all right. What matters is not that you should not make mistakes in the questions, easy questions, like separation of judiciary from executive, given by DPSP. This was also 2020 questions. So a big question on some genetic engineering will be having two marks, and this DPSP question will be having 2 marks. If you make mistake in this DPSP questions, it will be difficult to compensate. Now coming to another point, you should remove the fear of failing from your mind. Life goes on whether you fail or you pass. So you should not be all the time panicking that no, I have to. It's okay. You do your karma. You give your best. And the satisfaction of getting best is everything. Now coming to the second question, whether you should cover previous year question or mocks. See, I just highlighted the importance of mocks to develop your own style of answering. But many a times aspirants confuse between doing mocks and doing previous year question. Both have different importances. Just because they both are question doesn't mean that they both are equivalent. UPSC previous year questions give you a totally different dimension. They make you aligned in the direction of UPSC. I'll read out for you how these mock previous year questions can be helpful. For example, in 2017, UPSC asked Wildlife Protection Act Schedule 1 inclusion, what does that mean? In 2020, they asked Schedule 6 inclusion, what does that mean? In 2017, they asked purpose of ELISA. In 2020, they asked features of ELISA. In 2018, they asked why did Wellesley establish Fort Williams College. In 2020, they asked why did Wellesley establish Fort William College. In 2018, they asked IAEA safeguards. And in 2020, they asked why only some nuclear reactors are having IAEA safeguards. In 2016, Parivajraka and Sramana were having incorrect options. In 2020, they were pair of terms. In 2011, they asked Universal Declaration of Human Rights. In 2020, they again asked Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which may not be there in any of the books. In fact, 2020 prelims, at least 40 of the questions were having themes connected with the previous year questions of 2011 and 19. Covering previous year question make you closer to UPSC requirements. You're able to keep your around the themes, because these themes are favorite themes of UPSC. Also, the things which are news are over the span of years. IAEA safeguard was there in news in 2016 and 2020 also, which is there important. Second benefit of doing UPSC previous year is there that you get into the tune of mind of UPSC paper setter. In 2016, they asked the Paris climate deal is having 100 billion or 1000 billion. They just added a zero. In next year, they asked NIIF having fund 40,000 crores or 4 lakh crores. Just adding zero to confuse you. So if your mind is cautious about those changes, it will quickly identify and it will help you answer the questions. Similar type of changes is done. Lok Sabha replaced by Raj Sabha, Parliament replaced by state legislature or something like that. DPSP replaced by fundamental rights. So these exchange. So solving previous year questions, you will get in tune. Now answer to this year question, give next year correct or incorrect statement. For example, Mediterranean Sea question or constitutional government question in 2020 prelims. These answers could be obtained from previous year question explanations. So those are the importance of previous year questions. They help you subconsciously get into the direction of UPSC. One advice I would like to make that don't keep UPSC previous year question for the last week. Normally we say we'll revise full thing and then last week we'll do previous year question. We should drink 8 glasses of water per day. Should we drink it in an hour? No, it should be spaced. So I recommend spaced learning. If you have 10 days, cover 100 questions a day. If you have 20 days, cover 50 questions a day. The idea is not just cover for the sake of covering. The idea is to get extra marks in UPSC prelims. So this is about UPSC PYQ and mocks. Next question was, should I cover left out syllabus or should I do more revision? See, in general, there is an observation that we don't fail in prelims because we did not cover a topic. Generally, we fail because we were not able to answer from the topics which were covered by us. For example, you covered Parliament, but you did not revise. Now, in that, you made minus 2.66. So, what the general prescription I would like to give, that as the examination gets nearer, you increase revision time. The more coverage of, it's okay not to cover something, and something should not be covered because it is back in your prioritization. For example, in 2018 prelims, UPSC asked the sequence about Goa being independent, Goa becoming part of India, or Air India nationalization. They asked in 1969 which party was formed leader of opposition. So it doesn't mean that you should altogether start covering India after partition or India after Gandhi full book. No. If you think post-independence is important for you, then you cover. If you don't think, just 4-5 questions have been asked from 2011 to 2020, you should not cover. So what the idea is, based on previous year question, you prioritize things and then only you leave something. For this, what you can do, you can list out the items which you want to cover. List out the item which you want to cover, strike them off one by one, and thus what you will do, you will develop a style, you will develop a confidence that yes, I have covered these. And those you don't want to cover, make them side. This idea can be taken in even in the day before prelims, because day before prelims we want to revise anything and everything. But you have to accept the fact that you cannot revise anything and everything. So what do you have to do? So suppose there is a tricky thing which you want to revise before prelims. Either you can make a notebook, or on a sheet you can write that Lakshmikant page number 450 I have to revise. In the examination, day before examination, you come back, you strike that off after revising that. It will give you a confidence as well as planned preparation and planned prioritization. Now coming to the next question. Many of people are getting fear of CSAT. See, there cannot be a general prescription for that, but I can give a general idea of that, how you should proceed. What you do, you take 2020 CSAT ka paper. You attempt in a time-bound manner, and that time-bound manner should be in a tired mindset. I would prefer if you answer that in daytime of 2:30 to 4:30 after reading full morning. Why? Because normally CSAT paper we give in tired mindset. Suppose Sunday is examination, what you do, last few days are very tensioned. I did not cover this, I did not cover this, history is left, current affair is left, polity is left, something is left, revision is left, this is left. And in the morning of Sunday, what you do? You travel all across to the exam center. And after that, you give a 2-hour tensed examination. And 3 hours you are not able to take rest. So by the time you come to CSAT paper, your mind is little tired. So your mind should be tuned to solve CSAT papers in the tired mindset. So that's why I recommend those solving CSAT paper in 2:30 to 4:30 afternoon slot after doing full day reading or something that way. If you are able to score above 100, well and fine. You can go to examination directly based on your assessment. But if you are scoring below 100, what you do? You do some preparation, identify question types, solve them some with test series or something, and then again solve 2019 question. Again, if you are getting above 100, good. If you are getting again below 100, then do preparation. So this sort of iteration will help. In my book, I have included 10 pages PDF on CSAT, these things, how to approach, and a flowchart. You can refer them at www.prelimssimplified.com. And one more thing I would like to highlight, that after GS1 paper, in the 3 hours of gap, do not at all analyze CSAT GS1 paper. Why? Because it will only give you tension. It will not give you anything else, because the OMR which had to go has already gone. One OMR is there to be given, and that is in your hand, and you can focus on more. You can even revise formulas, take a nap, so that, ensuring that somebody awakes you, or take rest, or talk to friends, positive friends. Now coming to the next question, whether the idea of leaving this attempt, how to handle that or how to decide upon that. See, one thing you have to accept the fact, the preparation will never be perfect, neither next year, neither next to next year. Okay, it's all a relative examination, and it's all about performing, and there is a significant time left now, so you can significantly contribute. The idea of deciding to appear or leave an attempt should not come subjectively. It should have an objective criteria. Are you getting confidence after solving previous year questions? What are the percentile you are getting in marks? Are you ready for UPSC mains? Or what is the preparation level? How many further chances do you have? There are many cases in which you may see that life may not give another opportunity for you to write the examination. Whatever is there, based on these combination, you decide objectively. But one suggestion I would like to give, that even if you decide to leave this attempt, do not stop your preparation, because these last 1 month or last few weeks, what we do it in fast track mode. What we cover in 4 months, 5 months, we cover in just 1 month. So I don't want you to miss those 1 month. Even if you are giving prelims next year, it will be helpful. What you do, you keep preparing. Even if you decide to leave the attempt, on the day, whatever day is examination, 1 or 2 days after, UPSC will upload the paper. You don't discuss it to anyone. By the time you take a printout in simulated environment, you give the test examination. What it will do, it will help you get in tune with UPSC. Nothing beats a actual UPSC paper and the analysis afterwards. Take lesson from that UPSC paper, and those lessons should be implemented in the next year preparation as well examination. But do remember that preparation will never be perfect. So these were some of the questions. Now I'll add some concluding remarks. You should try answering the questions even if you don't have the requisite information, because many a times answer lies in the question itself. Apply common sense. Is it possible? Or is it the same type of changes which UPSC keeps making? Or have they changed proper nouns? Have they changed institutions? Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, I mentioned earlier also. Answer lies in questions. That is the difference between prelims and mains. Prelims, the answer is in question. Mains, you have to write the answer. And UPSC previous year question solving will help you in this. Prioritize things in last few weeks. Prioritize topics for coverage or revision. Prioritize things in life. It's okay. All the things which are there in life, whether financial, relationship or whatever, they may come after the OMR sheet submission. But that OMR sheets once submitted will not return back for you to change. Nothing will change after prelims. You can prioritize you can prioritize preparation over other activities. You can prioritize revision over other activities. One more thing I would like to highlight, that it is a relative exam. I have once more highlighted. If the paper is tough, it is tough for all. If the paper is easy for all. 3-4 years on a stretch, the cutoff is going around 98. 2016 cutoff was 116. Why there is so much variation? You see the paper, you will realize. So whether the paper is easy and paper is tough, you have to adjust accordingly. In 2018 prelims, I was unable to solve some questions. Then I put my head up and I saw many faces were perplexed. I realized the paper is tough. Cutoff for everyone. And I think first time the cutoff in recent years went below 100. So if it is tough, it will adjust. And don't overemphasize any single thing. For example, you have not been able to cover ancient history. It's okay. If you are not able to give 50 marks like your friend, it's okay. This UPSC prelims, they take around more than 10,000 of people. There are hundreds of questions. So what will happen is that things will adjust accordingly. But if you overemphasize one aspect and keep thinking on that, it will hinder your performance in other aspect. So don't overemphasize on any single things. It's a big exam and will take care of everything. And in the end, I would like to mention that for UPSC previous year solving, you can refer to my book. I have divided a 10-year paper of 2011 onwards into 200 themes. You should do spaced learning, as I told. 10 days, 100 question each day. 20 days, 50 question each day. Accordingly, you learn. I have divided them in independent chapter and independent themes so that you can cover required themes. You can even if you are not comfortable doing new book, you can download the free PDF available for prelims 2020 analysis, in which 2020 paper has been analyzed and solved. That is, PDF is available at www.prelimssimplified.com. It will help you understand things. In the end, I would like to add only one punchline. Read less, revise more, apply furthermore. Do it smartly, write mains. You can ask your queries in the comment section of this video. I'll be answering. And you can also refer www.prelimssimplified.com for knowing more about the book and referring the sample PDF. Thank you.